So I just got back from my second ever Walmart Spark delivery shift here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I drove for 2.5 hours, the same amount of time as my first shift. But this time I did significantly more deliveries. I'm going to show you those, as well as the earnings, of course, and new problems and questions that I guarantee you're going to have if you're looking at this whole Walmart Spark thing. Now, join me on this shift because we're going to do something a little bit different. Typically, I would comment kind of retrospectively here after my shift, but I want to bring you in the car, give you real, raw, firsthand feedback during the shift. So let's go to the field, kind of back in time, and go through this shift together. I might comment here and there, and then stay until the end of the video. I'll join you again here, and we'll go over the numbers. All right, and we're off. And I got, again, a stacked order. So I have 2 customer drop-offs on 1 Walmart Spark assignment. So if you're not familiar with Walmart Spark, it's customer grocery orders, you know, everything else you can get from Walmart. So I got to go there. I got to pick it up. Associates are going to load it in my vehicle here, and then I simply deliver to the customer. It sounds easy enough, right? But I've only done 1 run so far, and the pay is pretty good on this run. My concern, and I said this on the first run, is they expect me to pick it up in like 10 minutes. Now, like 9 minutes. Look at the screenshot here. They're giving me, it says, what, estimated pickup in 10 minutes. I don't know. It's based on like when they want it to be ready. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments if this is different, but it's going to take me, again, 25 to 30 minutes to get down to this North for Sales Walmart. I'm thinking if this is going to be an issue, I'll just drive down there first and then go online, and I'm already there, right? I mean, that's, again, let me know down below in the comments, but that seems like the easiest thing to do. All right, so I had an associate come by, just double check that I'm checked in. Basically, just on the app, what parking spot that you're in, put number 4. That's all I really need to do. And I'll wait for them to load the order here. One thing I did notice is the pickup time. I'll show you here. I'll remove the customer info, of course. But the drop-off time does seem to update. It says 4:29 and 4:46 right now. So it was a bit earlier than that, obviously, whenever I took this order. So that's something to consider. Should just be a couple more minutes here, and we'll have the customer orders, and then we'll, of course, make the drop-offs. Question number 1 that I asked the associate: do drivers need to help load the vehicle? Because I told you, you know, you'll park in that parking spot, and then I had 2 orders. So I have 1 in here and then 1 in the trunk. He said, no, you don't have to. He does have some drivers that do get out and help load the vehicle. I got out just because, again, I'm trying to get moving here. That is kind of up to you if you're, you know, asking questions to the Walmart associate. Because obviously, if they're like, hey, you know, you don't have to do that, obviously just let them do it. Because, you know, if something gets messed up, an order gets mixed up, they don't, you know, necessarily, you know, maybe want a driver doing that. Do I need to scan labels after my delivery? This is something that I was really wondering on my first delivery, because there's labels. I'll show you an example here, and I have to scan it to start my pickups, and you'll be prompted within the app. And then I told him, I was like, well, you know, I had to scan that whenever I did my drop off. He's like, oh, really? And that customer had a sign. Now, here's a good thing. So check this out. These are no contact deliveries. So just like food delivery, no contact, obviously. That's just pretty convenient. I mean, I think it's just convenient for everyone. Order number 1 is done, delivered. I tried to swipe at delivery location and said, you're not at the right location. My service right now is pretty low on my phone, so I'm guessing that's got to be what it is. I double checked in Google Maps. I mean, and they came out. They're expecting, so it was the right location. My next delivery is only 2 minutes away. That is superb. That is ideal. But anyway, I clicked through that. It says, are you sure you want to proceed? And then it said, we're going to pull your location, you know, based on your current location or whatever it is. And then it did prompt me to scan the label again. Remember, the associate's like, oh, I don't think you need to scan it again. it did prompt me to scan again, and I had the same thing happen on the first delivery that I ever did. So after that, it did prompt me to get the customer's signature. So imagine if they assumed it's no contact and they didn't even come out. I had, have to ring the doorbell and bother them. So I'm hoping that's not an issue with bad connection. If you have that same thing happen, it says, hey, we can't confirm you at the delivery address, let me know down below in the comments. All right, and we're done. Drop off number 2. Now, funny enough, I'm gonna try to squeeze in one more run, so hang with me. I took another stacked order. It's another 20-some plus dollars, a strong dollars to pound ratio. The only thing is, remember, I have to go to these Walmarts, obviously, to get the pickup. So based on where I'm at now, I am 13 minutes, 5.7 miles from the North Versailles Walmart. So I'm going back to that same Walmart, obviously. Let me talk to you about drop-off number 2. Contactless delivery number 2. Was it actually contactless? Yes. Here's how it's gonna go, and I think I made a mistake on the first one. There was no mistake with me and the app not working. The app just didn't work. It said it couldn't confirm my location. So that's not on you. Don't worry about that if that happens. This time it said, follow the instructions for the contactless delivery. So here's the thing, I'll be honest, when you're in the heat of your first order and it's a new app, I'm trying to manage parking. Now, thankfully, this is in a rural area, the parking wasn't bad, but imagine if you had cars whizzing by you, you have all these bags, you're trying to carry in there's a lot going on. So the screen gave me a lot of info. So I assumed it's gonna be pretty easy. So I think I made a mistake on that first one. It says, follow the prompts for a contactless delivery. Now what it says to do, you do have to scan the label. Now this second time I did have to scan the label. Here's a hack for you. I already discovered this hack and I love this. I think every driver should think about doing this on Spark. Is remember, you have to scan one of those labels again that are on the bins when it gets loaded. You take one of those labels, you put it on the designated bag indicating that section of the order. Whenever you make the delivery, I knew all of these bags are for that customer, because their order was in the back here, not the trunk. So I took a label so I didn't forget, and I just stuck it to my chest. This is a sticker. So I just stuck it right to my chest. So it says, hey, I'm on, this delivery. Remember, you have to scan this thing, and I prevent delivering the bags, and maybe the customer's there, maybe they happen to take the bags, or maybe you drive off and then you forget, you're going to complete the order. If it's stuck to you, you have that label to scan. I'm going to do that every time going forward. It's a reminder on all fronts. The delivery itself, it said, if you're prompted, listen to this, it said, if you're prompted to get a customer signature, to just line through the customer signature. I'm pretty sure I missed that. I'm pretty sure it said that on the first time. I didn't read it because, again, the guy's there and I'm trying to do all this stuff. So take a second, and I read it because there was no one at this house at the drop-off. It truly was contactless. It said just line through the customer signature, which is very interesting. I mean, I'm always thinking you should minimize the steps for your driver in this case. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. I feel like they should just remove the customer signature entirely if it's not needed, right? So I would like to see that optimized. All right, pickup is done, pretty smooth. I'm getting the swing of it here. Make sure you get those labels. I mean, you can continue deliveries without them, but you need those scan labels. So I made sure, again, grab them, put them in the designated area. One customer, let's say in the trunk, one customer in the back seats here. I asked again, different associate doing my pickup, and I said, hey, why do some bags get one item? And he said, whenever we're picking these items, we have like 8 bins, right? The bags go into these blue bins, and he said, sometimes they'll have a different order for each bin, and that customer's order only has one item for that associate to pull. It sounds like multiple associates are pulling like the same customer's order, which I think it leaves more opportunity for confusion and errors, I feel like. You know, like several associates could be pulling an item for like Smith, and then they all put the bins together for Smith. I mean, that makes sense, but I don't know. I get it if it's from all around the store, I get that. So you don't have an associate, you know, walking the entire store, I guess. But he said that's why. They have like 8 bins. They may just have one item for that customer that they're pulling for. So 6 minutes, 2 miles to my first customer. Let's go make this delivery. So my second ever Walmart Spark shift was from 3:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. Total gross revenue, this is pending our expected tips, was $50.75. This equals a gross revenue per hour, $20.30 per hour. Fair, but not super stellar. Now here's the thing. We do have that commute from my current location to a Walmart. It's about 30 minutes as discussed. So if you're closer to a Walmart or a Sam's Club, let's say you have no commute. So if I did not have a commute, this would equate to about $25.38, making that number obviously much more attractive. So of course, just consider that. Where are the Walmarts, the Sam's Clubs in your marketplace? So during this shift, I completed 4 total deliveries. The tips are pending. Now stay tuned here to the channel. Subscribe if you're not currently subscribed. We'll keep you up to date, stories, community tabs. We'll follow up on any pending shifts, etc. And my business miles for this shift was 30.7. And there's really a lower payout per mile, again, really because of that 30-minute commute. So my payout per mile, $1.65. And that gets me a tax deduction of $17.96. So I guarantee you much, much more to come here on the channel with Walmart Spark taking many more shifts. Because yeah, this is kind of a hot app right now. There's a lot of questions. I have questions and I'm encountering new things every shift here. So again, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you are a team member, as always, shout outs to you. And if you did get value in this video, you can definitely drop me a like, much appreciated. And you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.